Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vernon Williams. I'm the Communication and Community Engagement Strategist at IUPUI, former board member of IBE, former VP Communications, and honored to be this morning's MC. I'd like to preface this gathering by giving honor to God, who goes before us in all that we do individually and collectively. It's no small matter that we are here in the aftermath of 2 years of global pandemic. So I want to first start with that. And now I'd like to introduce to you the leader of Indiana Black Expo, who is doing her swan song this year as she's exiting after 13 years, correct? 15, okay. I missed 2. Of tremendous service to the community, to the state, to the nation, to the organization, CEO and President Tanya Bell.
So my husband's over there to the right, so I got to correct him, Tanya McKenzie. That's okay. But in all jokes, everybody still calls me Tanya Bell. But anyway, I'm excited, really, to echo some of what Vernon was saying with, not being here for the last 2 years. It's really good to be back in fellowship amongst a lot of our stakeholders that we've been away from and disconnected over the last couple of years due to the pandemic. And so we're very excited to celebrate culture. This will be our 51st summer celebration, and it's all about celebrating our culture, our impact, our accomplishments, and really to address issues that impact our community and bringing stakeholders out to do that. And so we're looking forward to kicking off a lot of the entertainment this weekend. We will start off with our corporate luncheon. I am blessed and humbled to be able to award some giants in our community, some folks that are making a tremendous impact and who embody what our mission is about, and that is to serve as an effective voice and vehicle for the social and economic advancement of African Americans throughout the country. And so just very excited for our honorees on here. I was just telling Blair that I grew up to you on the screen, and so it's just, I'm delighted. And it's not just to give him an award, the Lifetime Screen Image Award for his work in TV and film and on Broadway and everything that he's been doing, but he's also an activist. And he also cares and uses his platform to give back to our community. Also excited to honor a giant, IU head basketball coach Mike Woodson, not just for his accomplishments throughout his career in the sports world, but just it's been fascinating on how he has given back as a mentor to other NBA players and everybody else that's out there. So again, using his platform to continue to impact and uplift African Americans. And then also the recipient of the Reverend Charles Williams Excellence Award, Geo Academies, under the leadership of Kevin Teasley, for the wonderful work that they're doing, not just in Indiana, but in Louisiana. For you to educate, just really reimagining K through 12 education, where folks who look like me have access to a college degree. And not only do they have access to a college degree, but they're achieving that while they're in high school. So when we talk about social mobility and we talk about eliminating generational wealth in our community, he knows I am a cheerleader and a fan of the work that he is doing in the K through 12 space, and it's really K through 16 space. And so just very excited about our honorees. But before I get off here, I know Vernon, I feel like Vernon's watching me over my shoulder, like it's time. I just want to just put a plug in for some of the events coming up. Yes, the corporate luncheon will begin in about 30 minutes. Our exhibition hall will open up. We will have a lot of exhibits there all over the weekend. We have a Black Wall Street zone where we have close to 200 Black-owned businesses. And we're excited for people to come out and patronize them and really buy Black. And I say that very unapologetically. And so we're very excited about that. A lot of other exhibits that we actually have in there, our 51st Summer Celebration exhibit, our Performing Arts Academy, we have fashion shows, hair shows, boxing, amateur boxing, our Cultural Arts Pavilion with arts and our Black artists and their works that are there. And so we are really encouraging the community to come out, and we're excited to be back. Then I also want to put a plug in that, you know, on American Legion Mall downtown, I think I sent Amp the video last night, the videos that are going on where folks have been camping out since yesterday morning. And so again, I think that just speaks to everybody excited about us being back in full-fledged. So looking forward to Patti LaBelle and Monica and our very own After 7 gracing that stage. So just continue to pray for us as we continue to go throughout the weekend, and we just appreciate your support. And before I step down, I would be remiss if I did not thank our funders. I know IU, and they had some executives in here today, but we wouldn't be able to do what we do without our stakeholders and our funders who believe in our mission. So thank you, God bless, enjoy the weekend.
You know, we have 3 areas represented for awards today: education, athletics, entertainment, and philanthropy. And Tanya Bell could not, Mackenzie, I've known her for so long, could not have possibly known the personal connection that I have with all 3, even though none of them have met me. I am from Gary, Indiana, and a product of Gary schools, and very proud of the work that GO Academies is doing. It's incredible to think that students are graduating with college credit, and one student, and I understand, graduated with a degree, a full bachelor's degree. That's something that's just not common around the country, and I'm proud that Gary is the flagship operation for that program, and we're going to hear more about it right now. Kevin?
Well, thank you very much for having me this morning and for this honor, and it is an honor to receive this recognition from Black Expo. I've been coming to Black Expo events since probably 1996 when I first moved back to Indiana, and I've enjoyed all of these events. And 21st Century Charter School in Gary is our flagship school at GO Academies, GO Foundation. We've been there since 2005. We started with a mission. We were invited first and foremost by community leaders in Gary who came to visit us during a Black Expo event in 2004 and saw our school here in Indianapolis, and they said, "We want you to do this in Gary, please." And at the time, the city of Gary had a chronic high school dropout rate of roughly 50% every single year. 50% of the students would not graduate from high school. So the leaders in Gary asked us to come and help address that. And so they put together the board, and they invited us up, and we came in to do what we thought we could do. And if we're being honest, and you'll find that I'm pretty brutally blunt, I don't think we were that successful the first 4 or 5 years. We did all the things that traditional schools, traditional college prep schools do. We talked to students about the importance of graduating from high school, number one, the importance of going to college, getting a career, et cetera, and all the various levels of college degrees that you can get. The more degrees you get, the better income you get. We did college tours, we did college scholarship night, we did college application night, we did all of that. But truthfully, it wasn't that great, the results. And maybe incrementally a little bit, but not so great. And so I started talking to the students about why they were actually in high school. And the truth was, the students that I talked to, and I'm not making this up, literally said, "I'm here because this is where I play ball, or this is where the girls are, or this is where my friends are." Essentially, it was where their social scene was. And if you dig a little deeper, in Gary, at the time, only 10% of the homes have any college in them whatsoever. So 90% of the homes don't have college experience or college degrees. And so we had to change things pretty quickly. because a lot of us assume that students, are brought up in homes where everybody's talking about what your next step is and where you're going to go, et cetera, et cetera. Well, that just was not happening. And in fact, just the opposite was happening. When students are 16 years old, they were being asked by their parents or whoever's raising them to drop out, because that's when they can go get a job and they need more money for the house. And in fact, in 2010, we had a student who said that he was going to drop out at age 16. And I had heard that he was a pretty smart kid. And of course, our whole mission is to stop the flow of dropouts. So I had heard that he was going to do that, and his name is Vincent Pena. And I went to Vincent and said, why are you dropping out? And exactly what I just told you. My mom and dad didn't go to college. I'm not going to college. They need me to bring home some bacon. Well, we said to Vincent at that time, because it was like a 5-alarm fire, we got to change our approach. What can we do? And so we turned around and said, look, Vincent, if I take you over to Ivy Tech Community College and you take the exam, which is called the AccuPlacer at the time, and you pass that exam, would you go to college? He said, well, yeah, sure. And I said, well, we will pay for you to go to college while you're in our high school. We're going to change your schedule, your daily schedule, so that you can take those college courses on the college campus, not dual credit on our high school campus. Dual credit meaning on the actual college campus. His eyes lit up, and he took the test, and he passed all 3 parts. 2 years later, he graduated from Ivy Tech Community College with his full associate degree, 2 years of college, completely paid for by us, earned by him, before he graduated from our high school. That's pretty cool. That was in 2013. In 2014, we had 3 more students do it. We made a big deal out of Vincent earning this college degree. We're a K-12, so we brought all, at the time, probably 800 students together. Now we have 1,300 students. We brought them all together to celebrate Vincent's victory and achievement, and then the infection happened, meaning everybody started seeing somebody in their community who earned a college degree, who looked like them, they knew them, and so they started thinking, well, I can do this too. So over the last 5 or 6 years, we've had over 50 students earn a full associate degree while in high school, and they all go on and complete a 4-year degree as well. And I had one student who was so inspired by what Vincent did. I met her when she was 16, and she came up to me and said, Mr. Teasley, I got a problem. What's that? She said, well, I've earned my associate degree. And I said, well, that's not a problem. We can celebrate this. She said, well, I'm only 16. So here's my problem. I don't want to go off to a 4-year university. I want to stay in your high school and take more college courses. Can I do that? Well, I don't know if that's even legal. So I had to call the Department of Education and find out whether or not it is. And they were scratching their head because no one's ever asked that question. And 2 weeks later, they called and said, we don't see why not. If you want to keep her as one of your students, and she can enroll, at the time she, and excuse me, Coach, but she enrolled at Purdue Northwest. And we do have a partnership with IU, and there's a bit of good news for you at the end of this. But Raven Osborne, in 2017, she wound up earning a full bachelor's degree before graduating from high school. She was featured on CBS Evening News. Again, it was completely paid for by us. Is what we try to do is we try to remove all barriers, financial, counseling, social, emotional, et cetera, et cetera. So she did that, and today there is going to be a student with us. His name is Kaya. He's 13 years old. He should be in 7th grade. He earned a full associate degree already, and he's been enrolled at IU, accepted on a degree track. He will have a bachelor's degree completely paid for by us, again, earned by him. He's a wonderful young man, by the age of 15. How about that? Before graduating from our high school. So anyway, this is what we're trying to do, and we're doing it here in Indianapolis. We're also doing it in Baton Rouge. And actually, Melody went to our school here in Indianapolis, and she graduated. Now, our school here is only 2 years old. Melanie graduated. I think she earned 24 college credits while she was in our school for over a 2-year period of time, and she's got a full ride to IU. So Anyway, thank you for the recognition. And to us, the recognition is not about our ego. It's about helping others understand what students like Melanie are capable of doing. Because I firmly believe, and the students are proving it, traditional high school, they can do so much more than traditional high school today. And we need to allow that to happen. We need to free our students so that they can earn as much as they can during the time they're with us. A K-12 education, it's still good, but these students are proving that they can do so much more. So it's really exciting. Thank you very much.
You know, one of the great things about the recipients this year is a lot of times awards are given for celebrity. But this year, all three not only have a celebrity status, but an extremely high level of achievement and excellence. And that continues with the next honoree. And I can't conceal it, because everybody who knows me know I bleed crimson and cream, okay? You know, I graduated IU, past president of the Neil Marshall Alumni Association. I catch as many games as I can in Bloomington, and even through the rough times. You know, I just mute the TV and watch them. But, you know, the love for IU and IU basketball is something that does not go away. And the next gentleman he was incredible in high school. He's one of the top scorers in Indiana University history. Then he went on to well, first of all, he was a first-round draft pick with the New York Knicks. He went on to an incredible coaching career, and it's gone full circle. And now he's back at his alma mater, and IU Nation couldn't be happier. He said for him that it was like a dream come true. Well, it's like a dream come true for us too, Coach. You know. And at this time, please welcome Coach Mike Woodson.
Thank you. First of all, let me just say it's an honor to be back home. Truly is. AMP, Black Expo Committee, I thank you. AMP had a lot to do with making this happen for me, along with the Black Expo. Golly, 42 years I've been away, but I haven't been away. You know, I've made my rounds back here, but I've been away from the Black Expo and all the festivities over the years that it presented to a lot of young blacks. I grew up in the inner city of Indianapolis, 25th and Hillside. And I took my wife probably 2.5, 3 months ago back over there. And it just brought back old memories. This award for me is not just for me. It's for my family. It's for Terry, my wife, who's been with me by my side for 46 years. We've been married 40 years, so we kind of rode this roller coaster ride for quite a while. So this award basically is a package deal, AMP. No, really it is, because she's seen all the ups and downs, and she hung right in there with me. But boy, it's for me to be able to come back, circle back after all these years. I've had a stellar career, you know, and it's, you know, when I look at these young men that I'm coaching today at Indiana University, it's not about me, man. It's about these young men, because I like to think 42 years ago when I left Indiana University, somebody took a chance on me, and his name was Bob Knight, and I've turned out just fine. So I figure coming back, if I could give something back to these young men where I can help them on and off the court. You know, I've seen so much happen on the court where players over the years didn't take care of their responsibilities. And that's something that these young men that I'm coaching today, and I coached a lot of players. You know, I've spent over half of my life in the NBA, 34 years. So I've coached a lot of great basketball players, but it's a little different now being back at the college scene because these players are so much younger and they're looking for guidance. And you know, our society and what it offers today, boy, it's just a lot that can truly trip them up. So it's my job as their head coach to teach and mentor them in the right direction and make sure that they're doing all the necessary things off the court as well as on the court to be successful. So it's good to be back. You know, I'm the only one out of 12 siblings that ever left Indianapolis. And to circle back after 42 years, it's just amazing. I mean, it is. It's like a dream come true. I never imagined coming back and fulfilling a dream. You know, college basketball was so far removed for me. And if it did ever open up, Indiana was the only school that I would ever coach. I would never go anywhere else. I would be satisfied. I would have been satisfied just staying in the NBA. But when this job came knocking and the AD flew to New York, I made it clear, you know, he wanted to do a Zoom over the phone. And I said, shit, hell, if you're interested in Mike Woodson, you better get on the plane and come see me. And he did that the next day, and a 3-hour interview led to one thing, and here I am. I'm back home. So, hey, thanks again, you know, in closing to Black Expo and all you do. I mean, it's just been tremendous over the years, the things that black people have an opportunity to do. I mean, it's a part of our culture, and it's just a lot of wonderful things that are happening. So, again, I'm happy to be back, and Amp, can't say enough about you, brother, because you made the phone call, because it's the first time I've really ever been honored in my hometown like this. So thank you. All righty.
And coaches also, I'd be remiss not to mention this about character building. If you follow IU basketball, there was a point during this season when 5 players had to be disciplined during a pivotal game during the season, and there was no hesitancy on his part. It was more important for him to pour into them as human beings than to emphasize the necessity to try to win a game. And even with that, they came and became qualified for the tournament. So that alone, it's not just about basketball. It's his teaching, it's his character building, it's all that goes into what the consummate coach could be. Thank you, Coach Woodson. This next gentleman, Tanya says she's watched him since she was a little girl, and he still looks the same. You know, you know, if I tried to read everything that Blair Underwood has done in his illustrious career, we'd miss lunch. He's a producer, director, actor, stage, screen, and film. You've seen him. You can't miss him. If you are exposed to media in America, you can't miss him. You've seen him in several things during your lifetime. He's won multiple awards. He's had 17 NAACP Image Awards, 17, and he's won 7. He won an Emmy for the audio book by the former vice president on environment. He's received accolades all around the country. He's a philanthropist in his own right. He also won an Emmy for a production that he did entitled Give. Just a few of the many things that he was in for Indianapolis residents. You remember Self-Made, the story of Madam C.J. Walker. He was in that movie. a classic is Set It Off. He was in Set It Off. He was the president in a television, one of his television features, the event, which kept everybody glued to the television set every week. L.A. Law on stage. He's recently been in A Soldier Story. And like I said, there are just too many to reel off. So I won't attempt to. But without any further ado, welcome Blair Underwood.
Good morning to you. Thank you, Vernon. Vernon came up to me in the hallway just now and he said, so I'm Vernon and I'm the MC. And I heard those silver pipes. And I said, well, of course you are. That makes a lot of sense. So I just want to say thank you to AMP for inviting me here, and Tanya McKenzie. I'm meeting you as Tanya McKenzie, so I'll make sure I take care of you. Melanie, you got that on tape? You got that? All right, cool. But thank you. It is an honor to share this moment with Coach Woodson and Kevin. You know, there are moments in life when you kind of realize that life and what you do, your endeavors are above and beyond who you are and what you do and your own aspirations. And for me, that was when I was doing a show called L.A. Law many years ago, playing a lawyer on television. And it was the #1 show in America, #1 drama on television for years. And I'd gone to South Africa. My wife at the time and I had gone many times and had a chance to meet a great many people in the government there and dignitaries and whatnot. And it was the #1 show in South Africa, of all places as well. And I think it was in 1994, Nelson Mandela had just been released from prison. And Winnie Mandela had come to Los Angeles, and we were at this backyard party somewhere. And I was so excited to meet Winnie Mandela. And she was going down the line meeting people, and she saw me, and she said, every child in my country wants to be you. Now, of course, I knew it wasn't me. It wasn't the actor, but it's what the character, this young black man who was unafraid and bold, what he represented. And it just crystallized everything my parents had taught me about how when you walk out this door, you represent more than yourself. So I'm honored. I've played many in 35 years, many good guys. And now it's funny, Melanie, your generation, my daughter's 23. She says, all my generation thinks all you play is bad guys. And I said, well, the first 10 years, all I played was good guys. So I'm grateful to have a variety of many different characters over the many years and still be standing. So I thank you, IBE, I thank you, Tanya, and thank you for allowing me to be honored with the rest of these fine gentlemen. And I'll see you a little bit later.
And I don't have to tell you that. Blair Underwood is among a handful of actors that whenever you mention his name around females, just an irrepressible smile comes on their face, okay? We won't go any deeper into that, but at this point, we'll entertain any questions that you have for the honorees. Must be hungry, huh? Any questions for the weekend? Any questions for Attorney McKenzie? Okay. Well, thank you all for attending the press conference